We received a lot of questions related to what data is reported. So to generally address many of those questions, we thought a good place to start would be a review of our COVID-19 dashboard and the information you can find on that site. To start, let's go over how you can access the dashboard. From the main DHSS webpage, you can select Learn About COVID-19 in the How Do I box. That will take you to the main COVID-19 webpage. Once on that page, under the totals for confirmed cases and deaths, select COVID-19 dashboard. That button will take you to the GIS pages that include extensive information about COVID-19 cases and deaths in Missouri. If you visited this page before, but haven't been on in about a week, you will notice it has changed as we've included more information on the main page. The main page has a few main data sets that may interest you or your friends and family. First is the lab confirmed cases in Missouri as of 2 p.m. Next to that is the deaths attributed to COVID-19. Next are two of our new data sets, number of new cases added in the last 24 hours and the number of new deaths reported in the last 24 hours. Those two data sets will tell you what the numeric increase was from the update on the previous day. The next data set is the 7-day % positive of PCR tested individuals. And then we have the number of hospitalizations due to COVID-19. The map on the main page shows the cumulative case counts in each county by the residence county of each case. Next to the map is the alphabetical list of counties with their cumulative totals. DHSS does not report active versus recovered cases, but many local jurisdictions are giving that number. So if you are interested in that for a particular jurisdiction, you can check with them to see if those totals are available. Then we have some recent updates listed, which provides more information on what has changed on the dashboard in the past few days. For example, our most recent update was around resuming hospitalization data reporting and why it had stopped temporarily. Now, I know I just gave you a lot of terms and you may be wondering what each of those terms mean. To get those answers, you can select See Documentation for more information. That will open a new window with a document that provides definitions and examples of each term and data set. If you have any questions related to what information is or is not included in a data set, this documentation document is a great resource. And you can review the information under a header for each corresponding dashboard tab. If you are interested in more information about cases and deaths in Missouri, you can click through each of the other tabs to find out more about the situation in Missouri. The Cases Demographics tab has information such as average age of all cases, average age of patients in the last 7 days, the % changes in cases, age breakdowns, race, ethnicity, and biological sex information. Also on this tab is the Cases by Reported Date graph. The Cases County tab breaks down a few of the statewide data sets into county-specific levels. So on this tab, you can find the daily % increase in cases, the number of new cases over the last 14 days, the 7-day % increase in cases, and the total cases per 100,000 population. In addition, there are lists with the top 10 counties with total cases and the top 10 counties based on their 7-day % increase. The Testing PCR and the Testing Serology tabs are similar, but look at the data for those specific test types. Definitions for each test type are on the far right of each tab, but here's a quick way to know the difference. The PCR test is the gold standard for assessing a current infection, while serology testing is looking at past infections. You can find the total number of tested individuals, the total numbers of individuals with positive results, the cumulative % positive for either test, and the 7-day % positive numbers for PCR tests. You can also see how many patients were tested on a given day, and how many of those tests were positive, negative, or indeterminate. And there's an age distribution of tested patients, as well as the testing per 100,000 populations for counties for PCR tests. The Deaths tab shows information about deaths attributed to COVID-19 in Missouri. You can find the total number of deaths, as well as the number reported in the last 24 hours. This tab has a table displaying the number of deaths by date, and you can see how many deaths by county, either on a Missouri map or in the alphabetical listing of counties. And this tab includes demographic information such as race, ethnicity, biological sex, and age ranges. We rely heavily on our local public health agency partners for their investigation efforts in determining deaths in their jurisdictions. For information about hospitalizations in Missouri, you can go to the Hospitalizations tab. I hope this rundown of what information can be found on the dashboard, as well as how to access the documentation information, will help you better answer questions you may have or may be asked by friends and family.